Yo, it's unlikely. And some days you show up to the studio and they tell you that someone who played in the NFL and is now carrying around TNA gold wants to talk to you, and we have to make it happen. I'm doing an interview without gel in the hair or a fitted. That's all right. We pulling through because the digital media champion, AJ Francis, friend of the show, is here. AJ, what's popping?
What's good, man? Hey, man, I like the look. You know what I'm saying? Let the lady see the hair sometimes, bro. Let the lady see the hair sometimes.
And I don't want to sell myself short. You know, you're doing your press run, right? Earlier today, you talked to Kay Adams. She's beautiful. Now you talking to
Sure
me.
is.
I'm gorgeous. So it's a beautiful thing. You're a lucky guy. But I need to start out with a problem that we have
Okay.
that I've been waiting to talk to you about. I didn't want to do it on social media. I didn't even want to do it over the phone. It was either an interview or in person. So here's the thing. And for my producers for the radio show, please bleep this out. I'm warning you now, bleep this out. Why were you on that Drake bullshit during the beef?
What you mean?
You were team Drake. What was going on? My man was
I'm team good music. You can pretend that Drake wasn't making good music. Like, I'll be the first person to tell you that Kendrick won because It's Not Like Us is the number one song in the world. But like, if you want to pretend that they didn't make good music, they both made dope songs. Like, you want to pretend that the Tupac and the Snoop Dogg verse were not dope. Those are dope as hell and creative.
Mad corny.
Was
it creative? Was it creative?
Super duper creative, like incredibly creative. Have you ever wrote a 16?
Hold on a second.
So you can't relate.
No. That's no. That does not work.
Okay.
That does not work. I'm not Michael Jordan. I can still talk about basketball. You can't do the same thing.
Your opinion, you can still talk about it, but your opinion would be uneducated.
Sure. And I could say that when Drake and his team saw that one fake AI song and they reached out to him, and then the next song comes out and the AI verses are in there, and then he deletes them, like, you kind of look crazy.
I mean, not really. I think they were dope. That was one of Snoop's best verses. That was crazy. Like, Drake was really spitting on that joint as Snoop. You're asleep. He was really going like, I have no like dog in the fight. I like Kendrick and Drake and Cole. Like, I like all three of them. But like, to pretend that Drake wasn't putting out heat, like, you're just showing your West Coast bias, and that's okay.
No, listen.
Biased.
Hold on, wait a second.
You're allowed to be biased. I don't expect somebody from Compton to think that Drake won, even if Drake won hands down. And I don't expect somebody from Toronto to think that Kendrick won, even if Kendrick won hands down. You are from the West Coast. You live in Vegas. You're going to assume Kendrick won no matter what.
Family Matters was dope. Family Matters was all right.
Family Matters was very dope.
But he was also focusing on 50 different people when the mission at hand.
Yeah, exactly. He was focusing on 50 different people.
It was all right. It was all right. It was all right.
Yeah,
it was okay. It was a little corny. Bro.
It was corny.
And you know why I'm saying this
too? Can we also talk about this? Can we talk about this, though? Let's talk. You really want to talk about it? Let's talk about it. Who are the last two people that had a DJ Who Kid drop on their song?
Drake.
And AJ Francis.
Salute to you. That may answer the original question. There it is.
Nah. It don't. Bro, why you pretending Drake don't get hit? I don't understand. Like, why you pretending Drake is not a hitmaker?
He is a hitmaker.
Kendrick's biggest song he ever made is about Drake.
No, it's not. All right, it's probably his best song. If you want to talk about,
I didn't say best. I said biggest. No, Not Like Us is his biggest hit he's ever had. Like, it's not even close. Not Like Us is one of the biggest songs ever. It was the fastest to 1 billion streams on Spotify ever. It beat God's Plan by Drake in the process. It is the biggest song Kendrick's ever had. No doubt about it. And it's about Drake.
But it's like the NFL when a quarterback gets a new contract. Every time someone gets a new like Jared Goff is the highest paid player in the NFL.
No, because nothing on Mr. Morale topped anything on Damn numerically.
Yeah, but that speaks on us because we love confrontation. There was beef. And I can make an argument. Not Like Us obviously was directed. Not Like Us was directed at Drake, right? But you can take parts of that song of like, yo, this song represents a community. So when we say it and you're not like us, like that, there was a double meaning like Drake wanted.
No,
You can make that. What do you mean?
no. That song is about Drake, bro.
No, for
Don't
sure.
try.
No, but
I
that
see
speaks to
this
the
is like
greatness.
this is like one of the memes where they're like I see the one. It was like Kendrick writes a bar and it walks in the room and his fans are like saying what the bar's about and you're going too deep into it, bro. I love Kendrick. To Pimp a Butterfly is a top 10 hip hop album of all time. That's the kind of level of Kendrick I am. I don't think Damn's better than To Pimp a Butterfly. I don't think Good Kid, Mad City is better than Pimp a Butterfly.
What about
Mr.
Section 80?
No, Section 8. I like Section 8 too. None of them are better than To Pimp a Butterfly. To Pimp a Butterfly is a masterpiece. I'm a real Kendrick fan. But let's not pretend that his biggest song ever didn't come because he was talking shit about Drake. It's like Joe Hendry. Joe Hendry's biggest hits ever because he's talking shit about me. The Hitmaker. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's the same thing. Like Joe Hendry. When we met in February, the first week of February for the Super Bowl.
Yep,
I had just debuted at TNA, right? Before my debut at TNA, did you know who Joe Hendry was?
Yes, but I'm a sicko.
Okay.
I didn't know him like that, though. I didn't know him like that. I'll give you that.
The general public. How about that? There it is. It's okay. Like, it takes two to tango. Like, it's okay that Kendrick's biggest song, not best, his biggest song ever is because he's talking about Drake. But that's just the truth. That's the truth. That's the truth.
Joe Hendry
Joe Hendry has hella good songs. He had songs for Drew McIntyre and LA Knight and all these other people and Moose and all these guys. But he was talking about the Hitmaker, and it made him a star. You see what I'm saying?
And now look at the followers and all the success he's had. And by the way, this man, AJ Francis, has done a lot of things on TV because he perfectly segued into the wrestling. We're going to get to the hip hop stuff later at another time. Let's focus on everything going on with TNA. You have that gold behind you, plenty of gold, including that digital media championship. Yo, and I do want to talk to you and I want to salute you. You had BDE at a previous show who pulled up and, you know, you're on top of it. It doesn't matter. We're talking Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever the case. And the 20th anniversary episode that just happened a few weeks ago, or last week, I should say, like having some of the biggest streamers in the world, getting to do that, like that's what's needed in today's culture. Like, why is that so important to you?
That's why I set the whole thing up. That's why I reached out to Santi and said, yo, Santi, get a crew of streamers to stream the 20th anniversary episode. I'm going to reach out to Ariel. Ariel's the big boss man at TNA. I said, look, I got this idea. I'm going to have all these streamers stream the 20th anniversary show so we could see what numbers they pull in, which was millions of views is what they pulled in across all their social media platforms. Like almost 10 million views, I think, across all social media platforms for the digital, for not just the digital media championship match, but for the 20th anniversary. And I didn't even tell them that BDE was going to be there, who is one of the biggest wrestling content creators, if not the biggest wrestling content creator. And I made sure he was a part of my match and my backstage segment, right? The backstage segment with me, BDE, and Rich Swann after I won the digital media title is TNA's most viewed video on their Instagram in a while, because I recognize what the wrestling internet community brings to wrestling. Other than the idiots who think they know everything and don't know anything, like the good content creators, the good people in the community, they need to be highlighted because they bring so much to the system. And when I say the system, obviously I don't mean Moose and them. I'm talking about the system of professional wrestling. I'm talking about they bring so much to the community to be able to, like, just BDE alone being at TNA, like, that's huge. BDE doesn't even do anything but WWE. You know what I'm saying? So for him to pull up to TNA in general was huge. So for him to do that and then be a part of my match, be a part of my segment and kick it with me, and we're cool, and like now we're like game planning next steps and all that stuff, like he gets it. I understand how the internet community can shape a perception of somebody, because I've been labeled as an asshole for years, and anyone who's actually ever dealt with me knows I couldn't be a more genuine person, right? Now I play an asshole character because it's wrestling, right? But the Undertaker's not actually dead, okay? So like sometimes you got to play a different role, right? And like I appreciate the fact, like, even like you, like when we went to the Super Bowl media row, like you didn't have to do that. You didn't have to do the interview shit. Like that's why I enjoy spending my time with you, and I'm able to do things with Pat McAfee, with Kay Adams, with all these other people because of the connections I built. Otherwise, like it's just bringing everybody together. The tide raises all boats. If the streamers, on Access TV, a good week for TNA Impact is like 100,000 plus, right? That's a good week for TNA Impact, right? If the streamers bring in 1 million views, the numbers speak for themselves.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Like the numbers speak for themselves. And I recognize that. In 2 years, everybody's going to be doing this. Everybody's going to be doing this in 2 years. If you go back and look at my social media, I was trying to do this in 2001 with my social media influencer battle royal. I was trying to do this for 3 years. 3 years later, I'm still ahead of everybody else. And that's why I'm the digital media champion.
And, for people that don't know, because obviously if this is your first time watching, I said, you used to play in the NFL, but don't get it mistaken. Wasn't a career change. This is a lifelong fandom that you've had with professional wrestling. Yeah, so to hold gold in TNA with the history that this company has in its 20 years, what'd that mean to you when you got a moment to yourself after you won in the hotel room or whatever, when you finally got to sit down and think about it?
I was just in the shower, man. The water was running on my back. It looked like a movie where like I got my head down and the water's running on my back, right? And I'm sitting there just thinking like, wow, this is the first step, but we on our way, man. This is what I always envisioned, man. You got to understand, like, to be like, even just this title is 3 years old, right? But in those 3 years, some of the biggest names in this business have held this title. The first champion is Jordan Grace. The longest reigning champion is Joe Hendry. Matt Cardona won this title. Tommy Dreamer won this title. You know what I'm saying? Like, Brian Myers won this title. Like, there's a lot of people who held this that are impact makers in this business and have been forever. So it's like, to be able to be Rich Swann won this title, to be able to be that next step, that next person, to be able to hold the legacy means a lot to me.
And obviously, yesterday, if you're watching this, NXT Battleground with Jordan Grace that you just brought up, going up against Roxanne Perez. If I could, though, even before your thoughts on the actual match and seeing that and what's going on right now, I don't know where you were, but could you take me back there when you saw Jordan show up on WWE television again, setting up an actual match and not just a Royal Rumble appearance?
So I was sitting here. I will have like people over and they'll be watching wrestling or whatever in my front living room, and then in my back living room where I'm at now, where my studio is and my gaming situation is. That's why I'll be on the game. So I was on the game and my boy Lewis was like, yo, Jordan Grace is on NXT. I was like, what? Pause the game real quick, good up front. Sorry. And I was like, oh, damn, she back? That's crazy. Because I remember when she debuted in the Rumble, I was like, yo, that's nuts. Because I didn't know this shit, like, both times. Like, I found out when y'all found out. I'm not in the inner circle. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that was crazy to me. But, like, now, knowing that they did the crossover, and then Ash by Elegance goes back, and she's part of the show last night, so obviously there's going to be some stuff there. It's like, knowing that I'm a champion in TNA and they're doing the NXT TNA crossover, like, my mentions are flooded. People want me to fight Obafemi so bad. And I want to too. He keep abusing these little boys. He ain't faced nobody that's hands down bigger or stronger than him. And I am. And I am willing to put it all on that. We can go title for title. Like, I ain't scared. I know he ain't scared either. That's what makes good fights. Two real dogs that ain't scared of each other. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know he gonna try to kill me, and I'm gonna do the same damn thing. So guess what? We gonna see who ends up on top. And I got nothing but love and respect for that brother, but I don't think it's gonna be him.
Fightful. There's your quote for the article right there. One thing I want to ask you is, because yesterday at NXT Battleground, I saw Gail And I walked up to her and I wanted to shake her hand because I've interviewed her before, but it's been through Zoom. So it's like it half counts, it half doesn't. She does a million of them. So I just wanted to shake her hand and say, hey, thank you so much for the time back then. Appreciate you. Hope you're having a good time, whatever. We get to talking for a little bit and then we finally take a picture. But I saw as soon as I took a picture, everyone smelt the blood like some sharks. And
so you're the worst. So you're the worst.
So
you're a piece of shit. That's crazy.
Yo, but I didn't mean that wasn't my intention. I just wanted to talk. No. I did. We started talking. I thought it'd be like, no, thank you so much.
You knew what was going to happen when you took the picture. You knew you're not going to squiggle your way out of this one. Hey, I'm talking to the producers. Hey, bleep this out. Bleep this out, producers. Hey, make sure you bleep this out. You are full of shit. You knew as soon as you took that picture with Gail Kim what was going to happen.
So as someone who's been in that situation before, AJ, talk to me about what's going through your mind when you see him come up. When you see him and you know it's about to, what you thought was going to be you walking down the hall is now going to turn into a 15-minute, 20-minute thing.
So the craziest one I ever did was in Cartagena, Colombia. And there was this little kid who, honestly, just being honest, he was dirty. He didn't have shoes. And he was like, can you buy me some food? And I was like, yeah, I got you. And like, so I bought him some food. We were right by like a little, it was like, I want to say it was like a CVS, but it had food and groceries inside too. And like, I was buying his food and then another kid came up and then another kid came up and another kid came up and then a dad with his daughter came up and then a mom with her two kids came up. And I posted a story, but I ended up spending like 10 grand in that CVS, but like, I felt like it was on my spirit to help them out at that moment, right? Those are like good times that it happens. Bad times are like when you described with Gail. Like she's just trying to mind her business, you know what I'm saying? And you ruined everything, you know? So like, you know, luckily Gail Kim is one of the nicest people in the wrestling business. Because had that been somebody else, that could have been a whole different situation. So shout out Gail Kim. For putting up with your mistake, you know what I'm saying? So, I'm proud of her. You could have got the picture in the back, you know what I'm saying? Or
we were. It's fine, bro. Ain't nobody perfect. You on Drake's side. I'm over here blowing up Gail Kim's spot. It's fine. One thing I want to ask you with that too is what's the weirdest, I'll let you pick what you want to answer. What's the weirdest thing you've signed, or is it the worst when you know the person just wants to take a picture with you because there's a scene and like they don't know what the hell you do? They're just like, you're big and black. You play a sport, right? Like that type of shit.
That happens all the time. No, the ones that really piss me off are people will literally like people don't understand social decorum. And so like people will literally just come up to me and be like, who are you? What do you do? And I'm like, what the fuck? They're like, all these people keep talking about you over here. Who are you and what do you do? And I want to be like, first of all, that's not how you talk to people, you busted ass. But I keep it,
And I'm an accountant.
Yeah. And I hit them with I'll be like, oh, yeah, some people know me from all over. Like, which is true. Some people know me from college football. Some people know me from the NFL. Some people know me from the TV shows that I hosted. Some people know me from WWE. Some people know me from TNA. Like some people know me from all over, all different reasons. Some people know me just because I was very well known in Maryland. Like there's a bunch of ways people could know me. So I usually can tell how somebody knows me based on how they address me. Obviously, if somebody calls me Top Dollar, I know how they know me. But if someone calls me AJ, it could be anything. But if someone calls me the franchise, then I know that they know me from at least college or high school. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So there's a million different reasons that it happens. But like, when it does happen, I try to be as good as possible. I always take the pictures. I always do the things. It only pisses me off at like wrestling shows and conventions. Not that people, but like, you see I got a merch stand, you see I got a merch table, and you're like, I'm like walking to the bathroom, and you're like, yo, let me take a selfie with you. And I'm like, bruh, you see me at my merch stand for the last 2 hours, my boy. Like,
Yeah.
you're not slick. You're not slick. I wasn't born yesterday, my boy. Like, get your dusty ass over to my merch table. I'm gonna go take this piss and I'll see you there. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta handle it in different ways. It's crazy though. People are really rude. Like, people will really just be like, no, people will literally say, I don't know who you are, but I see other people taking a picture with you. Can I take a picture with you? And I'm like, why do you want a picture with me? You don't even know who I am. Like, you're a follower. Like, you need to do better in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And what are you going to do with the picture?
Exactly.
Post it and not know.
Hi, I met this guy. Don't know who he is though. Like, what the fuck?
Yo,
that shit is so weird.
A lot of people call you a lot of different things, but for right now, we're calling you digital media champion. AJ Francis joining us. Be sure to check him out. June 14th, later this week. You can get it on TNA Plus, TNA Against All Odds. Plus, they're going on the road for the summer, a whole bunch of different cities. You can go get your tickets at TNAWrestling.com. As always, AJ, appreciate the time.
Appreciate you, my brother. Hey, man, let the hair out a little bit more, man. You look good, kid. You know? Yeah, I see you, player.
Exquisite.
Who knows? Your big ass was hot with that hoodie on in the studio.
No, it's actually 50 degrees in here. It's the only reason why I'm wearing it. Maybe Gail wanted to take the picture with me. No one thought about that. All right, peace.
No one will think about that.